Hey, what's going on, guys? Zucifer here, bringing you my CPL Tryout Tournament draft analysis. And this draft analysis is going to be a little bit different for two reasons. One, you see that I have uh, Photoshop opened, so I'm actually going to be trying to draw all my Pokemon that I drafted. It's going to be terrible, don't worry. And then secondly, I have my good friend Aster J joining me. What's up, Aster?
What's up, guys? I'm excited for this because I have an idea of what Colton's team is, like more or less, but I'm not 100% on everything that he picked. So I'm gonna see them drawn out live in front of me. We're screen sharing currently, so this should be fun. I have to try to guess what the hell these things are.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
So
a lot of fun. Aster did help me with
a little bit,
a good
yeah.
amount of my draft. He gave me some ideas. I followed some of them. I didn't follow some of the other ones.
Did you draw that
Uh,
Pikachu down there?
no, that's just like a graphics thing. That's
Okay,
like
good.
a
Thank
thing.
God. I was gonna be like, damn, that's really good.
I wish. Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing the first Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my first round pick first. Um, which I should just open up the one I did already.
I mean, if you
Uh,
want to, and then
uh,
when you actually get around to drawing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to about well, not only the Mon when I finally see it, but also the CPL as a league, because a lot of you might not know what it is.
hmm
So
Yeah, the
yeah,
CPL is a league that Astra's a part of. I'm actually just gonna
well,
redraw this.
was a part of.
Oh, is it
Uh,
official that you're not?
well, I'm not playing next season, that's for sure,
Oh,
because I
okay.
won't have time. But
Oh wait, no.
as far as
Oh,
future seasons, that's yet to be seen.
why
I'm
is my?
definitely going to stay in the server, obviously, because I like all those guys, but
I don't know why the eraser was black, but okay.
The eraser was black. Wait, what?
Yeah, this
Oh, it's
is.
because your second color is set to black right now.
Oh, true, true.
Yeah. Paint does that too.
Yeah,
I found that out when I was like 8.
I'm trying to use this drawing pad that I got, and that's why I had this idea to do this.
Yeah.
Because I want to get into drawing a little bit more. I'm not new.
Hmm.
What am I doing? I don't know. Uh,
Oh.
Also, this is really fun for playing Osu. I don't know if you've ever played that or know what that is.
Yes. Yeah,
Uh,
I have it installed,
yeah,
but I suck at it, so I didn't bother
yeah. Because
continuing to
trying to
play.
do it with mouse and just mouse is just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So okay, that's not the right color.
Okay, we don't need perfection here.
Okay, whatever. So yeah. So anyways, I had the fourth overall pick. Oh god, this.
That's pretty good. Pretty strong
Uh,
pick.
fourth overall pick. Um, and it's an 8-man or 8 Pokemon team. Uh,
Is that a
so
Lando
no. You'll
or a
see.
Zeraora? Like, looks very
Okay, there's.
humanoid.
I'm not gonna change colors. I think I'm just gonna keep one color for it. I should do different colors, but
Charizard?
no. So I had the fourth overall pick, and being that it was 8 Pokemon only, um, I knew I had to pick something really strong.
Oh, yes, okay.
Uh,
Mewtwo?
no, Mewtwo is banned. Mewtwo is definitely banned.
I was gonna say, that looks like Mewtwo, dude.
Well, I didn't finish it. Um, and honestly, I think this mon's kind of broken in the whole idea of 8 Pokemon teams, because with a Z Crystal, which this mon did get a Z Crystal. Uh,
Okay. Okay, yeah, now I remember what it is.
oh yeah, you forgot.
It's supposed to be blue, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I told you the color should be different. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, this
It's all
is
red. I'm there like, Charizard!
no, this is Kira. This is Kieran Black.
That's a Kyurem Black. Yeah, Kyurem is actually something I've had the pleasure not only but drafting again recently. I had it in the NPL Minors season 3, I believe, and then I also had it just recently in the GBA versus NPA League War. Got a chance to use it, and well, my game versus Kelly may never actually happen. We shall see, due to scheduling conflicts and different things. But and in the other game, I didn't actually bring Kieran Black, but I tried it out in a couple of mocks, and the thing's monstrous. It's really, really good, especially with the Z Crystal. as mentioned by Colton. ICMZ with Freeze Shock is ridiculous, but it's not only that; its ability to run Z Fusion Bolt, Z Dragon moves like Outrage and Dragon Claw, even just Z Ice Beam, Z Earth Power, Z. I believe it gets Shadow Ball as well.
Mhm.
Things like that just make it an extremely powerful breaker. You're mainly going to want to use its physical strength. Base 170 attack obviously is
Mhm.
crazy. Using that with a band or Z Crystal in general is going to be really nice. Scarfing is also really good because a breaker at base 95 speed is extremely rare.
Mhm.
And its base 95 speed, coupled with the fact that it's extremely bulky, has access to Roost and Substitute, and can run a multitude of really good items, makes it a really, really versatile and great Mon in 8 Mon format, and in a lot of cases, even bannable. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why like, I was surprised this thing was not like banned.
Yeah.
And like there was a few other mons like I was considering like Tapu Koko, Celesteela, Mew. Those were kind of like the four that you mentioned. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense because
Yeah,
in
those are the ones you always want to be looking at. Lando T as well.
yeah,
Up there. I think Lando T is a little bit overrated. Like it always goes in 5 to 6
yeah,
picks. I think it should go a little bit later. I think Mons like Garchomp are a little bit undervalued for what they can actually do. I think
mhm,
Garchomp is a little bit of a better Mon than Lando T. Some people may disagree
damn
with
it,
me, but just because at the beginning of the generation, Lando T was looked at as like the
oh,
best Mon ever in draft format,
right,
and now it's kind of died down a little bit, and then it struggles because it's a tough speed tier to deal with as far as
right, yeah,
having to fill so many roles because it fills a lot of roles all at once. So it's a great scarfer, it's a rocker, it's a defogger, it's a breaker, it's a setup sweeper, and you don't want all of that in one mon. It's kind of like Empoleon syndrome,
mhm,
right? So with Lando T, you're definitely going to want another ground type, and maybe another physical breaker, and maybe another scarfing speed around that speed. And people typically don't draft that. And when you're so limited in 8 mon
mhm,
drafts like you are, I wouldn't recommend that. Which is why I suggested thing more so toward like Coco and Celesteela, because I feel like they accomplish 1 to 2 roles maximum, and that's
mhm.
really what you want out of a mon that you're going to be using almost every game,
Oh yeah, like
essentially.
yeah, it's gonna be hard pressed for me not to bring Kyurem to
Yeah,
the game.
for sure.
I'm gonna start drawing the next Pokemon.
Yeah,
So
I see that. Yeah.
yeah, uh,
This is a sweater.
you're very very close.
Really?
Yeah.
And
So the next pick, I was debating between two megas. Uh,
oh,
the one I didn't go with was Mega Kangaskhan. I was
this is not it, Chief.
what?
This is not it. I know what your mega is now. I just remembered, and that ain't it, dude. What the hell is that?
Hold
Yeah, great color switch. That's really gonna help people out.
on. Gotta make.
Oh my god, those are thick. They're off the body now. Jesus. All right, keep talking about your pick.
So I was different. I was like
Fucking
chicken
centaur.
wings. Uh,
Oh boy.
so I was
Can you
thinking
hurry
about.
up and draw the ears? Because I think that's gonna be necessary.
Okay. I'm probably not gonna
You
get
were
the.
you were debating Mega Kang and what?
Well, I was gonna give my reason for Mega Kang because this is.
Okay.
I didn't go Mega Kang. Uh,
Mhm. That's a little bit better. That's a
this is a
little
little
bit
better.
better.
Uh, but I was
It's a
debating between.
pigtailed centaur. Oh
uh,
boy.
I used Mega Kang in the league before.
Okay.
The league didn't like actually like last because like
Mm,
everyone just kind of didn't play.
yeah.
I was undefeated.
Mm,
Uh, and I was running like bulky Mega Kong with like no speed,
yeah.
and I was just like loving it because like it would eat hits up for days and then
Mm-hmm.
just keep getting kills.
Yeah.
Um, but ultimately, I decided to use this mon, which I mean people should probably be able to tell by now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely a centaur.
def- with a mask, with a
With the
mask.
mask. That's Megalopony, guys.
Yeah, it's Mega
So tell us
Lopunny.
tell us why you went for Megalop.
So I've never used it before, but it's one of those Pokemon that, just like Kieran Black, it's so hard to switch into.
Mm-hmm.
The dual stabs plus the scrappy ability
Mm-hmm.
means that there's nothing in the game that can switch in
Yeah.
and not potentially get hit by at least a neutral attack. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing that resists its dual stabs with the ability.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
Where I feel that Lopunny excels and doesn't is its ability to revenge kill, due
mhm,
to one, its speed tier, two, its access to dual priority and fake out and quick attack. I feel like I misused it when I had it both times, in fact. Once in the GPC, but that one my team was really bad. I don't even know how I made playoffs in that league, to be honest. And the second was in the GBA in season 8. I had Lopunny, but I don't feel like I paired it with the right mons. I felt like Lopunny could have done more. It got a lot of kills still. I think it got 16 across the season, which is not bad. But I feel
yeah,
like Lopunny, I feel like I did a little bit of an injustice because it's typically a lot better. However, the thing with Lop is that a lot of people have learned how to counterplay it now. There's very simple counterplay to Lop, and that's why you really have to utilize it as a revenge killer more than anything else.
mhm,
Because if you're trying to break with it, you're not going to be able to. There's just
yeah,
way too much counter to it. Like for example, a simple Masharna can stop it.
mhm,
So and then there's literally nothing you can do. It can spam Moonlight in front of you and just wear you down with Rocky Helmet and eventually psychic you. So its frailty kind of plays against it, but like I said, if you come in on a mon that has like 30 or 40% health left, typically you're going to be able to knock it out with a powerful adamant return, due to its speed. You can typically run adamant or over jolly, unless you're running into things like Tapu Koko
mhm.
and those speed tiers like Jolteon and whatnot. So, but yeah, no, it is a good mon, and I hope you can do it some justice more than I could.
I hope I can do it more just in this, than this drawing does it.
Yeah, seriously, because this is horrendous. This is. Please reset. Can we move on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going on to the next one. Just gotta get the
Like,
new.
mm, okay.
So let's see. So after those two picks, I was kind of debating where just to go hyper offense. Uh, and the mon I was thinking about going hyper offense with my next pick was gonna be Hoopa Unbound.
Mm,
But Jose, a friend of both mine and Aster's, actually drafted him first,
yeah.
like two picks before me.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think in the long run,
Well, I'm
it's
I'm glad you didn't get it, honestly,
yeah,
because
cause
what you want to do with 8mon is
sorry.
typically get like one to two, well, two breakers,
Mhm.
one fast mon, and then the rest is like pivot plus fat.
Right.
That's what you want to go toward, usually, because hyper offense is normally not going to work in 8mon.
Yeah.
You want to have a good balance, and like regen cores are amazing in 8mon format, because there's like so few of them. um I wonder what this Pokemon is. So like I mentioned, typically you're going to want fat, but it doesn't mean that your fat can't hit hard.
Right.
And this is one of those mons that definitely can hit hard even though it's extremely fat. You're going to
Mhm.
want black next.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you.
So
But yeah,
you
if
want
you
to talk
can't,
you
yeah,
want
if
to
you,
talk about Tweety over here?
yeah, this is Zapdos. This is probably the best drawing I'm gonna have.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know.
pretty simple.
There's one mon that you don't know what I have yet that I think should be fairly easy to draw.
Okay,
Let me
cool.
give it little little
Yeah, is the beak
eyes.
the beak
Yep, yep,
the
yep.
beak is black, right?
No, it's like
Oh,
orange.
it's like orange. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I went with Zapdos.
Yeah.
Mainly because it gave me a fighting resistance, which both my mons at this point were weak to.
It's also
Uh,
really nice because contact moves in general, like play rough and
mm-hmm.
whatnot, from fairies, you can catch static. Zapdos got so much better.
Oh yeah, because of the whole defog being a tutor move now.
Well, not just that, it already had defog even in Gen 6. Talking more about being able to, well, yeah, as a result of that, it's able to run static and
Mm-hmm.
defog simultaneously. So that's
Yeah,
insane.
that's huge. It gets roost.
Yeah.
So pair that with like a Rocky helmet and the whole
Hmm.
static ability. no one's gonna like want to hit it with a contact physical move, really.
Yeah, it's so tough to run U-turn on a team when you know that there's a Zapdos
Yeah.
on the other side and it's probably gonna come. So that's a huge advantage for you. That limits your opponents to just volt switching, and your
Mhm.
first pick resists volt switch. Very
Yep.
nice. So
And then
very nice.
it has like what base one? No, wait, I have it up right here.
100.
100 speed, so it's a fast bulky mon, but
Yeah,
also has 125 special attack. So it's
which is higher
also
than Kirim's special attack.
yeah. So it can still hit. I think actually 125 might be the highest special attack I have. Not gonna lie.
That's not bad though. It just
No,
means
it's
that you don't have a special breaker unless you want to
yeah.
run specs on Zapdos, which I've done. Life Orb works
Hmm.
too.
Uh,
Physical breakers are typically better in draft format, like
oh
on
wait, no.
average, because special moves don't have the either the base power or the accuracy,
Hmm.
like Hurricane, Focus Blast, things like that. It's very rare you'll find good special breakers, like even Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, all the power moves
Hmm.
don't hit all the time. They have very low accuracy. So like things like example Flamethrower and Shadow Ball are obviously really good.
Hmm.
Um, and also Power Gem, and maybe like Sludge Wave. Those are really good too. So I thought you were starting on Blacephalon, and then I realized what you actually on.
Yeah, no, no, I don't have Blacephalon.
No,
That's
no, no.
another. That's another tier one mon.
So where Zapdos excels is obviously being able to get rid of hazards. What you didn't have at this point was a hazard setter, and I think
Hmm.
that a dual hazard setter like this one is really good.
Hmm.
Nihilego being able to set up rocks and T spikes, as well as having a lot of sweeping potential. What you can do with Nihilego, which you can do with a couple of Ultra Beasts, but I think Nihilego does it best, is be able to speed boost
Hmm.
simultaneously as being able to raise your special attack. And that's really, really good. Your highest special attack is not 125, it's definitely
Yeah,
Nihilego's.
it's 127.
Yeah, I think it's 137, no?
No, I have it pulled up right
Oh,
here.
it's 127? Okay,
Hmm.
127 is still really good though.
Yeah, 120.
Especially firing off powerful moves and the great coverage. Like Nihilgo's coverage bests Zapdos's any day,
Hmm.
by far. Like having access to grass knot and stuff.
Oh god.
Uh, what? Sorry.
Oh, that little went a little awry there, but no worries.
All good. But yeah, having stealth rocks is going to be really important. I don't know how many rockers you got, but I think two minimum is mandatory
Hmm.
on every draft. Whether it be
Hmm.
8 mon, whether it be 11 mon, you need two. I would say that 11 mon 3 is ideal.
Hmm.
And then like just having access to T spikes, being able to absorb T spikes, which is going to help out Lopunny and Kyurem a lot. What's really cool about Lopunny with T spikes though is that you don't necessarily need an absorber with it
Hmm.
because it can run facade and it
Hmm.
enjoys being poisoned at times because that means it can't catch a burn. So keep that in mind.
I will
So yeah,
definitely keep that
so
in
yeah,
mind.
Nihilego, really good, good special spammer. And also Nihilego gets knockoff.
Yeah, that's definitely something I looked. I'm like, oh wow, that gets knockoff. That's actually really good utility.
It's really good for a Chansey,
Yeah.
specifically. I don't know how many times I've seen that run. So yeah, next up we have my mascot coming in here. As we said, you need minimum 2 rockers. Celebi,
Hmm.
great rocker.
Hmm.
It's also a great U-turner as well. It's going to complement Zapdos pretty nicely. What I've always loved about Zapdos is the ability to run Volt Switch in matchups where you know the ground type likely isn't coming, and in your case, that's going to happen a lot because Celebi plus Karen Black um, is going to deter. Oh, this is really nice. Thank you. I appreciate the effort.
Yep.
Um,
Putting a little bit more effort in this one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely.
Oh, well,
That's gonna help out Zapdos be able to run Volt Switch, and then complementing Celebi's U-turning is gonna be really nice. Celebi is a great status absorber, where Nihilego sucks up the T spikes. Celebi can switch into any Will-O-Wisp from, like, for example, non-fire types like ghosts. Some ghosts that can
mhm.
definitely switch in on. Paralysis mainly. Thunder Waves is something that you're going to want to avoid. Zapdos and Celebi can both do that. So that's going to be really good. And
Uh,
mainly just the ability to set up sweep as well is really,
yeah,
really solid.
and it also gets baton pass, so I can set up both calm minds and sword dances and baton
Is it
pass.
legal in the
Mm,
next season?
hmm. Well, at
Oh,
least
great.
you just can't baton pass speed plus
Speed
anything
plus something
else.
else. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really good because you can pass Swords Dance, you can pass
Alright,
Nasty Plots.
gotta
That's
get it set.
really, really solid. Passing a Swords Dance into Lopunny is almost instantly a good game.
Yeah.
Or into Scarf Kirim when they don't have a fairy.
hmm what was I next pick? Okay. So now, I mean, I think you kind of know this one too,
Okay.
because you gave me the idea for it at least.
All
Uh,
right.
so that's 5 out of the 8 Mons. So I have 3 more left. So Astro should know this next one, but then he won't know the next two.
Okay. Cool.
Uh,
Blue, water type,
yep.
guaranteed. So, we mentioned Zapdos earlier. Definitely, it's going to be important for Kyurem Black to keep hazards off. And even for Zapdos itself, like Zapdos doesn't enjoy switching in on rocks, so if it doesn't have to fog, it's better that it doesn't.
hmm
As a result, having a rapid spinner is a really good idea. And I think that having used it recently and having made the stupid mistake of dropping it in GPC Season 5 when I first joined and replaced Ray, he had this on his team and I dropped it and I regretted it. And I'm on his Blastoise.
hmm
So Blastoise is really good because it's one of those mons that doesn't really care about spin blockers in general, because it can Dark Pulse most and it can toxic most of the others that Dark Pulse doesn't do a lot to. The only one that you really got to watch out for is like Mega Sableye, realistically, and maybe some of the grass ghosts like Gourgeist that don't take too much. But Dark Pulse still pretty much destroys them,
hmm
and the access to Ice Beam as well is always an option. So having that, having access to refresh, I this is wow. That's one hell of a turtle. Having access to refresh is really cool because a lot of the ways that you're going to wear down Blastoise is going to be to toxic it. And I think that pairing Blastoise with a Wish Passer is often a really good idea. Unfortunately, I don't think you have a Wish Passer. What you do have is Healing Wishmon
hmm
in Lopunny, as well as a Heal Belmon in Celebi. So that's going to be nice. You can take off that move slot from Blastoise, not have it run rush because of Celebi's Heal Bell, as well as Lopunny being able to bring it back late game because Blastoise itself can do a lot of damage to a team. It's hard to break down, and it can just spam Scald the whole time and just
hmm
constantly wear down teams. And it
And
gains recovery through leftovers, right? So
and it also has double priority, I think, in Fake Out and Aqua Jet.
that's right. Yeah, I think
Not
Aqua Jet is the big one that you're gonna want to
yeah,
use if anything. But most of the time, you're really just gonna be running Scald, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse.
yeah.
Those moves. Aura Sphere is always also an option for any quad resist that you happen to run to. So,
hmm
and like if they happen to be the switch into Blastoise but not to Lopunny, you can always catch them off guard. Aura Sphere them, get rid of them. So yeah. Now I don't know what's coming here, so you're
Yeah.
gonna have to do some of the talking while drawing.
Yeah, so at this point, I had 2 picks left. I had a tier 3 and a tier 5 left.
Mm,
And I was debating with my tier 3. There's like, I needed a steel type. I really needed a steel type because I was weak to a lot of things. And steel just happened to naturally be the type that would help cover a lot of them. And I was debating between two. I don't necessarily know if I got the right one or not in
mm.
the long run. I'll tell you the one I was considering. I was considering Bronzong.
Yeah.
Because
Isn't Bronzong tier 4 though?
no, it's tier 3.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Um,
And this is why I left the CPL. Cam, what are you doing?
I'll make sure he sees this and he
Yep.
thinks about his decision making. Uh, but yeah, so I was like, well, having the Levitate and having a Steel type all in one would be really nice because I was also having kind of a ground weakness, which this mod doesn't necessarily help with.
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily hurt, but
Well,
that's.
the one thing that it does have going for it is that as a steel type, thanks to its fairy typing, it doesn't have a weakness to fighting
Mhm.
neutral, which your team already had quite a few weaknesses to fighting. Nihilego not being able to take physical hits too well in general.
Mhm.
And then you have obviously Kyurem and Lopunny. And Zapdos and Celebi aren't always going to be the best things to switch in because Bug, Rock are going to be able to nail you. So having that extra switch in as well, because
Mhm.
Klefki does switch into some fighting types quite well.
Hmm.
and is able to just get off status on them like T-Wave.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the main reasons why I was deciding Klefki was its prankster ability, with like Thunder Wave. It's another spike setter, so that's more hazards options for me. I don't have to run Nihilego of spikes. I can run.
well,
Uh,
Nihilego doesn't get
oh, it
spikes.
gets toxic spikes.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's just
So now
another.
you have every hazard.
Nay, now I have area hazard. It also
Yeah.
gets defog.
Hmm.
Uh, so prankster defog. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's never a bad thing. Uh, but also having speed control because my speed tiers weren't the greatest per se.
No, your highest being what, Nihilego?
Yeah, highest
Lop.
outside of LOP would be
Yeah,
Nihilego.
Lop into Nihilego, which is a huge jump.
Yeah, so speed was kind of an issue, so I wanted a speed, uh, some kind of speed control. So I think Thunder Wave on Klefki's can be really nice.
Yeah.
Um,
Just know that you'll never have to run speed on Lop ever.
oh yeah.
Because like I'm talking you don't have to run any speed at all because all that people are gonna outspeed is gonna be your Nihilego.
Hmm.
Because there's no point in going to whatever you think that Lopunny is gonna be, because it might just be faster. So you're
Right.
wasting his E. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I'm not sure how I feel about the Klefki pick. Like, I like it as a mon, don't get me wrong, but I feel like on 8 mon it's sort of a waste
Yeah, I mean,
because
I was debating between like the steel type or a fire type.
yeah, I think
Uh,
a fire type complements Kyurem better, if I'm being honest.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
that having a fire type to switch into fairies, to switch into um what else is Kyurem weak to?
fighting rock.
Rock. Well, rock doesn't help. Well, I was thinking like Talonflame along with it.
Mhm.
Like Talonflame is able to switch into fairies and fightings super well,
Yeah.
and Kyurem can switch into electrics for Talon. So the only common weakness that they share is rock, and you already have a mon that takes advantage of that like crazy in
Mhm.
Lop. Lop can switch into most rock types relatively safely. So yeah, Golurk is interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
having
So
having a ghost and a ground. I think you needed a ground.
yeah, because
I
I
think not
needed
having a
something.
ground would have been a big mistake.
Yeah, and this thing being tier 5, I'm like, oh, that's kind of. I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
ridiculous, but it's.
No. Golurk is typically tier 5. Now the ground ghost that I would have gone with is Palisand
I was debating between that as well, actually.
because your team is limited to Zapdos and Celebi for recovery, and you have no
Yeah.
Wish Pass. So Palisand I feel would have been better because it does have.
Mhm.
So I understand getting a spin blocker as well. I think that's a good play. But longevity wise, I think the Palisand is better because all it takes is a couple of HP ices. Ground type is gone.
Yeah. So I
So
do think in the end I kind of still went pseudo hyper offensive.
yeah, well, your team has the potential for sure. I mean, like Golk has Rock Polish.
Mhm.
Klefki is really the only mon that can't really go offensive
Mhm.
typically.
I have an idea for a Klefki set. I'm not gonna say it now because I wanted to share with you.
All right,
I'll just see what you think. I'm sure it's not gonna be viable at all, but I would
okay.
love to see it happen.
I want to see you run heal block.
That would be amazing.
Well, I've run it before and it's worked for Uniclus because
Yeah.
Klefki is typically set up fodder for Uniclus.
Let's see.
So
I
there's
just
a
need.
few mons that you can definitely run heal block, and if they're like, for example, um, like if they can't do anything else after you stop their healing,
Mhm.
like for example, you double in on a Chansey or a Blissey, and they're at 40%, and they thought they were going to get off you, and you heal
Mhm.
block, and like you have 2 layers of spikes up and roll, it's over. Like they just
Right.
lost their Chansey. So good. So yeah, that's something I want to see you potentially do. And I want to hear about this Klefki set.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I think the team's not bad. I think I could have drafted slightly better, slightly more like for longevity.
Yeah.
Uh, as you pointed out. But for it being 8 like 12 teams, 8 mons. I don't think it's a bad team. I think I can do work with it.
I think it fits more your style.
Yeah, I think it does fit my
It's just
style
that
a little bit.
I don't like the one thing I hate the most about your team is
What?
your speed tiers.
Yeah,
100%
speed.
is
Yeah, speed tiers is a little bit iffy, but
like Nihiligo is what 103.
yeah, 103,
103. Zapdos is 100. Celebi is
100.
Blastoise is 78.
Kyurem's 95.
Kyurem's 95. Like everything ranges between 95
Mhm.
for the most part, and then it's all your fat stuff.
Mhm.
So Blastoise, Golurk, Klefki, which are all relatively like Klefki's 70, but you're never gonna run speed on it.
Mhm.
And what's the last?
Um,
I forget. There's
Megalopony.
one. Yeah, and then it's Megalop all the way up at the top, right?
Yeah, so it's like I
So
have.
you got slow, you have mid, and then you have one super fast mon.
Yeah, so.
So you're completely reliant on Hazard Stack.
Mhm.
And where I feel you could have taken advantage of that was getting a Defiant mon,
Yeah, something
potentially.
to come in on those
So
defogs.
yeah, exactly. Because like you have a spin blocker, fine. While it's not the best spin blocker, it is a spin blocker. But I feel like you're a little too dependent on Hazard Stack, and that
Mm.
might end up biting you. So, anyway, it's your team, and I'm sure you'll find a way to make it work. I trust you, but it's not a team I would draft. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I definitely think. Yeah, you're definitely right. With a lot of what you're saying. I do think it plays to my style a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the
Hey,
reco-
I want to see you prove me wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
I would love to prove you wrong. So we'll have
yeah,
to keep an eye on that. But
yeah,
I think this analysis is pretty much done. I mean, I can go over my mods one last time.
yeah.
So we got Kyurem Black. We got Mega
Oh god,
Centaur,
Mega Centaur.
Zapdos.
I read Zardos, but all right, that's definitely an R.
Yeah, the hole in P is very little.
Yeah, no, that's a Zardos. All right, Zardos.
And
That's your nickname, by the way, this season.
Zardos. I will
Yeah.
I will nickname it Zardos.
All right. Next
Uh,
up is Lego Man.
yep, Lego Man.
Yeah.
Celebi.
Pastor. Yeah.
Fucking kill me, turtle.
What?
It just looks like he wants to die.
Yes.
like it.
It's doing a jiggy though. It's definitely dancing.
Uh,
Those aren't cannons on its back. Those are boom boxes.
oh yeah, hell yeah.
There's some beat playing right now.
It looks like what you would think a turtle would look like if it was like lying on the back of its shell and it just had like its claws out, hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then Klefki,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Golurk.
This thing looks like hold on. Danny Phantom.
Oh yeah, okay.
It legit looks like the eyes and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Make
Yeah,
it look like yeah. That's Danny
yeah.
Phantom.
Danny.
Definitely Danny Phantom.
All right, yeah, I'll write that down now
Yes. Thank you.
because I'm totally saving these.
I have 3 nicknames. Beautiful. It's gonna be fun to.
Fun to
You're gonna
watch.
save the pictures.
I guess at this
You
point.
should upload one random one to Twitter and just be like tease a video.
Oh yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
the thumbnail for this is gonna be amazing.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well,
looking forward. Is your new logo gonna be
it should hopefully be, yeah, it should be like probably like in the
awesome?
corner of the
So
thumbnail, yeah.
you guys have probably already seen that by now. So that's cool logo that he made.
Mhm.
And it looks pretty damn sick. I don't think anybody's ever done any.
A neon logo, yeah.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. And as far as if you came here from Twitter because you saw a photo of one of his drawings, then I'm impressed that you actually had
The
the nerve to
audacity.
come. Yeah, the audacity to come to this video after seeing these atrocities.
Yep.
I really.
I will improve with this drawing pad. I'll say
Oh, you
that.
will for sure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
No, thank you
yeah,
so much, Aster, for joining me. I definitely appreciate you helping elaborate on a lot of the picks while I was drawing, because I was focusing on drawing. If it's
yeah.
hard to
Oh,
believe.
no, no, no. I believe you. Yeah, but try to focus on your commentary from here on out
Hmm.
for any videos that you do for the season.
Oh yeah,
Also,
definitely.
guys, I didn't explain, but the CPL was a league that I was in for 2 seasons. And I made playoffs in both. I made finals in the first season and got knocked out in round one of playoffs of the second. So it's definitely getting a little bit better.
Hmm.
The players are improving, so I think it's going to be a pretty threatening league in the
Hmm.
next year or so. So definitely be looking out for it. And if you guys want to hit that subscribe button to keep up with what's going on in the CPL, then definitely do so. Subscribe to
Hmm.
my man Colton because
And definitely. Go ahead.
he can commission some pretty good drawings, as you can see,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
for sure. So,
And make
all
sure
right,
you
well,
check out Aster's channel as well. Definitely will link that. I
thank
mean,
you.
if you're watching my content for Pokemon League stuff, you probably already know who Aster J is. He's kind of a big
Maybe not
deal.
everybody, I'll probably get like,
Yeah.
it always happens whenever I'm featured on videos. Like Jolt got me like 10. So,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
no,
And
it's a pleasure being here. I did enjoy. This is fun draft analysis. I was glad to find out your final two members as well, and I'll be rooting for you this season, dude.
yeah, hopefully I make it. I will definitely be posting all of my tryout matches. Hopefully I have more than 5.
Yeah.
If I don't have more than 5, that means I'm probably not gonna make it, guys. But I'll definitely keep all of you guys updated on that.
All right.
So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Peace.